chip and run is very similar to your putting action. In the chip and run, you remember our arms travel a certain distance. When we bowl the ball, they travel the same distance. When we putt the ball, and when you play the chip and run, your arms travel that same distance. So my arms are always traveling the same distance, no matter what action I'm making. In putting, you'll remember the ball is under your left eye, and you're trying to keep everything quite still. In chipping, it's a little bit different. I'm moving my right foot closer to the back of the ball, maybe having the ball just a little bit back off center of my stance. My hands are slightly in front of the ball, putting maybe a little bit of weight on my left side, and I'm brushing the ground. Other than that, I'm using my putting action. Remember, it's the same as my bowling action. So in putting, everything looked like this. In chipping, I'm moving my right foot up to the back of the ball, so the ball's not under my left eye anymore. I'm maybe gripping a little bit down on the club to give me more control, and then it's my putting action. I'm using a 7-iron for this shot. The reason being, a 7-iron travels about the same distance as your putting stroke. If you were to use a different club, you'd have to either make the stroke longer or shorter. I want to use the same distance stroke because it's standard. It's the exact distance my bowling action goes, it's the same distance my putting action goes. You'll notice I placed a tee on the green about 1/3 of the way up. The reason I do this is to, first of all, bring the target closer to me so I've got an easier target to aim at, as opposed to aiming all the way up at the hole. Now obviously you're not allowed to do this in a game of golf, but while you're practicing, I'd suggest putting a tee just in front that you get used to landing the ball in a certain area. That's my putting action. I'm holding the club a little low down. I'm using my normal grip that I use for a long shot. I'm moving my right foot up towards the back of the ball, and I've got my hand slightly ahead of the ball. My weight favors my left foot just slightly, and I'm brushing the ground and following through. Brush the ground, trying to land the ball 1/3 of the way up the green. So it travels 1/3 of the way in the air, and it rolls for 2/3 of the way. To play this shot, I'm using a different club. My action stays very much the same as the 7-iron chip and run. I have to get the ball a little bit further up in the air, and because my golf club's got more loft, it's going to do the work for me. And the ball's going to go higher, the landing area is going to be about halfway up. So my ball's going to go halfway in the air, and it's going to run halfway. You can see the ball traveled about exactly halfway, and it rolled for half the distance as well. So it was halfway in the air, halfway run. We're now going to play the longer chip shot. We're going to try and keep it as simple as possible. I see a lot of players making mistakes in these long shots. It's an easy shot if you keep to the basics. I find a lot of bad shots happen simply because the person stands differently than they would on a long shot, and they hold the club a little bit too tight. So the main things, you want very good posture. You want to have a nice straight spine. You don't want to be hunched over the shot like this. You need a nice straight spine. And you need the same grip pressure throughout the shot. Don't be holding the club too tight. My focus is, during the shot, to brush the ground and follow through. If you brush the ground and follow through on the shot, you're going to hit a good one. You're going to get it close to the hole. Remember, you're not trying to hold these. You just want to get them as close as possible. If you play the shot with a lob wedge, you're not going to pull it off. The swing itself is significantly longer than a chip and run. I need to have quite a long swing because I'm getting the ball very high up in the air, and it's going to stop quite quickly. Brushing the ground, following through. You can hear my clubs making a noise on the ground. I'm going to be showing you two very good practice drills for chipping. All it involves is another golf club and the golf club you're chipping with. The first practice drill, I'm going to be putting a golf club across my chest like this. Just taking a swing, trying to keep my arm action in sync with my body action. So my arms and shoulders move together. Okay, you might find this a difficult drill, but it definitely helps. I'm going to play to the hole on the front left of the green. And you can see on that shot, I was in perfect sync. My arms and shoulders stay together. This next chipping and pitching drill is going to stop you from using too much wrist action through the shot. A lot of famous professional golfers practice using this drill to keep their left wrist a little bit firmer in the pitch shot. It will definitely help you hit more consistent shots. Got a golf club extending the golf club shaft that I'm hitting with. Might be a little bit uncomfortable at first to hold the club, but you'll get used to it. You can see the shaft of the other club extends all the way under my left arm. The aim of this drill is to avoid hitting your body with the club. So I'm trying to avoid the other shaft hitting my side. To do this, I've got to use less wrist action through the shot. If I'm using less wrist action, I'll be turning my shoulders a little bit more. Aim for this hole on the left.